Hello friends, welcome to the Point. In this session, we are discussing about resources. What do you mean by a resource? A resource is a source or supply from which a benefit is produced and that has some utility. And resources, it can be classified according to their availability in the nature. They are classified as renewable and non-renewable source of energy. Renewable source of energy includes air, water, etc. And non-renewable source of energy includes coal, crude oil, etc., which takes millions of years to get formed. So I have said that a resource has some value. What is that value? A value is nothing but a worth. Some resources they have an economic value and some they do not have economic value. For example, metals they may have an economic value, but whereas a beautiful landscape they doesn't have any economic value. But both are important and they satisfy the human needs. Some resources they can become economically valuable with time. For example, we can say that the home remedies prepared in the olden days they have a commercial value today, but they should get patented and sold by a medical firm tomorrow, and so that they could become economical value. What is a patent? Patent means it is a right given over an idea or an invention so that some other people couldn't copy it or misuse it in some or the other way. We can also say that the copper metals or the bronze statues which were present in the olden days, they have an economical value today. Time and technology, they are the two important factors that can change a substance into a resource. But both are related to the needs of the people. People themselves are the most important resource. It is their ideas, knowledge, invention, and discoveries that lead to the creation of more resources. Each discovery or invention it leads to many other discoveries. The discovery of fire it led to the practice of cooking and other processes. While the invention of the wheel we already discussed that it is an ultimately resulted in the development of newer modern transport. The technology to create hydroelectricity it has turned energy in fast flowing water into an important resource. Now let's discuss about the types of resources. Resources they are generally classified into natural resource, human made resource and human resources. Natural resources they are drawn from nature and they are used without much modification. Those resources are called as natural resources. For example, the air we breathe, the water in rivers and lakes, the soils, minerals, these are all called natural resources. Many of the resources can be used directly and in some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use a natural resource in the best possible way. Natural resources they are further classified into different groups depending on their level of development and use, origin, stock and distribution. On the basis of their development and use resources, it can be classified into two groups, actual resource and potential resource. Actual resource are those resources whose quantity is known, but these sources are being used in present. The rich deposits of coal and petroleum, the dark soils of Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra, these are all called actual resources. Potential resources are those whose entire quantity may be not known, but these are not being used at present. These resources they could be used in future. As the level of technology we have at present, it may not be advanced enough to easily utilize these resources. The uranium which is found in Ladakh, it is an example of potential resource that could be used in future. High-speed winds were a potential resource 200 years ago, but today they are an actual resource for us. We generate electricity using windmills and which is being used widely. Based on their origins, resources can be classified as abiotic or biotic. Abiotic resources, as we discussed, it is a non-living, while biotic is a living. Soils, rocks, minerals are abiotic, but plants and animals, these are biotic resources. Natural resources, It can be broadly categorized into two types: renewable resource and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly, and some of these are unlimited and are not affected by human activities like solar and wind energies. Water, it seems to be an unlimited renewable resource, but shortage and drying up of natural water sources is a major problem in many parts of the world. Non-renewable resources are those which have a limited stock. Once the stock gets exhausted, it takes thousands of years to get renewed or replenished. And since this period is too much more than the human's lifespan, such resources are considered as non-renewable resource. For example, coal, petroleum, and natural gas are examples of the non-renewable resource. On the basis of the distribution of the resource, it can be divided into ubiquitous or localized. Resources that are found everywhere in the nature, it is called as ubiquitous. For example, the air we breathe are ubiquitous, but those resources which are found only in a certain place, they are called as localized. Like copper and iron ore, which is not found everywhere but distributed only in a particular place. Human made resources. Sometimes a natural substances, they become resource only when their original form has been changed. For example, iron ore, it was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. People use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery and vehicles, which are all known as human made resource. Technology is also a human made resource. Human resources. People can make the best use of nature to create more resources when they have the knowledge, skill, and the technology to do it. And that is why human beings are said to be a special resource. People are human resource. Education and health help in making people a valuable resource, improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resource is known as human resource development. Conserving resources. Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Balancing the need to use resource and also conserve them for the future is called as sustainable development. There are many ways of conserving resource. Each person they can contribute by reducing consumption, recycling and reusing things. Ultimately, it makes a difference between all our lives that are linked to the environment. The future of our planet and its people is linked with our ability to maintain and preserve and support the life system that nature provides us. And therefore, it is our duty to ensure that all uses of renewable resource are sustainable, the diversity of the life on the earth is conserved, and the damage to natural environment system is minimized. That's all for the session. See you in the next session with some other interesting topic. Thank you.